Well, hey, you guys. So I think most people can agree that they need some kind of savings cushion, right? So here at Ramsey, we always recommend a starter emergency fund of $1,000 before you really do anything else. But I also know that this is easier said than done because a lot of people just feel like they're stuck living paycheck to paycheck. So if you're feeling this way and you need to make some progress when it comes to your savings, we're going to chat about that today. And specifically, I want to talk about how you can save $4,000 fast. And trust me, it's not as daunting as you might think. And if you stick around to the end of the episode, I also want to share what you can do after you reach that milestone so you don't lose momentum when it comes to taking control of your money. All right, first, why $4,000? Well, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the average annual salary nationwide is $65,470. So if we took that number and subtracted the average income taxes, then divided it by 12 for the number of months in a year, then that means we are around $4,000, meaning $4,000 is what the average American is bringing home after taxes. So it's essentially like having an entire month's salary saved, which is a huge goal and wonderful. But even if you're bringing in more or less, no matter what you make, I think everyone could agree that, an extra $4,000 can't hurt anyone. And think about this. Once you've paid off all of your debts and you focus all of your energy then on getting a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, well, aiming for $4,000 as your first goal of getting there feels more realistic and reachable, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. How do you even get there? First, what I would say is to clamp down on your existing budget. You need to be very aware of where every single dollar is going. So tracking your budget is really key. And I recommend using EveryDollar because this is a great budgeting tool to help you know, hey, this is where our money's going and you can adjust your spending. And if you want to check it out, I'll make sure to put a link in the description for you guys. Now, take a close look at your spending habits and think, okay, where can we cut back? Because again, some of this, you guys, is just the rhythm of life that when you get in over and over and over and month after month, year after year, you don't really realize, oh my gosh, where is our money going? And maybe if I take something out or I lower a category, we actually could be okay. I even did this for myself. I kind of got in the habit of I'll splurge on a shirt, that's $15 here, $20 there. It's in the budget. It's fine. And then I gave myself 30 days where I'm not going to buy clothes. And it's amazing when you just say, oh yeah, I was kind of doing that. And again, I had some money budgeted, so it was part of the plan. But when you say, well, why is that a rhythm for me? Why don't I just stop? And you stop, you're like, oh, well, there you go. It's even like streaming services. Maybe you got Apple TV to watch a show and now it's over and you're like, why are we still paying for Apple TV? Let's cancel that, right? You kind of just end up in a rhythm. And what a budget does is it stops your rhythm to say, hey, take note of everything that you're spending money on. And you might actually say, oh yeah, I don't really need that. Or wow, Starbucks is coming up a lot in the budget. What if I cut some of that out, right? So it is amazing what happens, that power and control that you have. Now, I know that food costs and eating out is a big one for people. So maybe you meal plan and say, hey, let's say, that we're going to eat in 5 days throughout the week or 6 days. And maybe you have one cheap meal where you go out. But overall, you plan where your money's going. You plan what kind of meal you're going to have. And then you can say, yeah, let's do a cheap meal, X amount of meals, and maybe one meal we go a little bit nicer, whatever it is, but you have a plan. All right, now to the next strategy. Boost your cash flow by taking a side hustle. So side hustles, again, they're everywhere, and I feel like people talk about them a lot, but honestly, having a little bit of extra income coming in can make a really big difference. So again, this can be any small job, an outside gig, maybe what you do for your primary job, you do on the side and do some freelance work and make some extra money that way too. But you can drive for rideshare apps, you can do Instacart, you can do food delivery, all the things. There is ways to pick up some extra shifts or jobs to make an extra, $10, $20, $30 in your pocket. I mean, especially when it comes to house sitting, dog sitting, babysitting, all of that are great options and people will pay a lot for those. So side hustles like tutoring, music lessons, or even coaching for a local kids sports team or reffing, these are great ways to earn some extra money if you're interested. So again, getting some of that extra money towards that $4,000, it's for a short period of time. You won't do it forever, but you can earn some extra cash, which is huge. Let's say you dedicate just 10 hours a week to driving for a rideshare app and you earn $20 an hour. Well, that's an extra $800 a month. And it doesn't even include the money that you're saving by sticking to your budget and taking out some money that you're spending that you aren't going to spend anymore, and that's going to go towards savings. All of that, it's amazing. So we've talked about strategies to help you reach a $4,000 savings goal, but what if you're just starting out on your financial journey with the baby steps and you're not quite there to save $4,000? So before I share more on that, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Christian Healthcare Ministries. When you go against what society thinks is quote unquote normal, even like avoiding debt, for example, it might seem weird at first, but that is totally okay, because we want you to be weird if that means that you're doing things intentionally, including how you spend your healthcare dollars. And one way to be intentional is with Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM isn't health insurance. They're a health cost sharing ministry that's helped hundreds of thousands of families like yours take care of healthcare costs without sacrificing their freedom. To find out more and join chministries.org/budget. That's chministries.org/budget. Okay, now if you are starting off on your financial journey, make sure to check out our 7 baby steps. So baby step 1 is a $1,000 emergency fund. Baby step 2 is paying off all of your debt but your house. And baby step 3 is a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. So regardless of where you are in any of that, some of these tips for saving $4,000 can help you when it comes to those baby steps. All right, you guys, there you have it. Saving $4,000 might sound daunting, but again, with budget adjustments and a little bit of a side hustle and kind of looking at everything when it comes to your money, you can really do this. I mean, it is an amazing thing. Now, if you want even more strategies to help you hit the savings milestone and take control of your money, make sure to check out my video on how to save your first $100,000. All right, I hope this video inspired you to put a little extra work in, because it is worth it, you guys, to stay motivated and focused when it comes to your money. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.